Hi there, it's Jane Birkinshaw from Love Your Lens here. It's been a while since I've spoken to you in this way about the images that you've submitted for a theme for Live, Shoot, Love. But now that we've moved to the monthly theme and we've completed the month of November, which was And So Ends Autumn, I'm back here again to talk to you about the short list of images that I've selected, which are all shown in this collage here, and I'm going to go through the images one by one with a few quick comments that I hope you'll find useful, even if you didn't submit any images. And then at the end I will select my favourite, which is the one that struck me and stood out for a number of different reasons. So if we get started, thank you very much to everyone who did submit images for the theme. Obviously, with it being a month, we had quite a lot, and that's why there's quite a high number here that I've chosen as images that I found quite striking. So if we move through the images, we've got a couple to start off with by Eric Payton of the skies that we tend to see in autumn. This is a lovely one. I particularly like the colours, the way that the sun is, its rays are coming out at the top and the bottom, and particularly the warmth of the colour on the water. Another thing that struck me as I looked at it was the scale as well, which you can see nicely by the couple of boats down here. So yeah, very nice autumn sky, Eric. And then on to another one by Eric, obviously later in the day, beautiful warm sky that's very typical of autumn, and nice silhouette going on here. So very evocative of autumn. Thanks, Eric. And then this shot by Marie, which I absolutely love, a real moment, candid moment captured here of a little girl making a snowman. Unusually, yes, we've had some snow in what's officially still autumn, and I love the way that Marie has captured it here, the little girl putting autumn leaves on top of the snowman. The colours are beautiful, all these reds, the red hair of the little girl, the red of the autumn leaves, and the yellow splash of the spade is great as well. So lovely candid moment, Marie. Beautifully sharp as well, which I know will please you. And then we have a shot by Emma Hayes. I was actually with Emma when she took this one on a photo shoot that we went on together on a lesson. And again, what's more evocative of autumn than a magnificent stag amongst the autumn colours, the bracken, the leaves, the trees, the backdrop, etc. I do feel like it could be a tiny bit sharper, Emma. I've had a go at sharpening it in post-production, so if you can see the difference, just have a quick look. And that was just by applying some sharpening in Photoshop Elements, and you can do that in quite a number of programs, and it has just crisped that image up quite a bit. So if we just go before and after again. Okay. Then we've got a couple of shots by Rachel Burton where she's been photographing real quite almost macro shots of autumn leaves with the light shining through them. So yeah, really nice images. You can see all the different colours here, the decay, the structure of the leaf, the composition is nice by having the other leaf coming in here, and a nice soft focus background. So the colours in that are beautiful. And then this one, which I actually prefer out of the two of them, absolutely gorgeous detail on the edge of this leaf, beautiful colours, nice focus down here, lovely soft focus leaf here. I would have just cropped this image just down here, which is a shame in a way because you've got this lovely bokeh going on, but this is a bit distracting and just starting to get overexposed on the edges here. But that's a cracking shot, Rachel. And then Karen Herrmann writes, I love the simplicity of this shot, and how evocative it is of the end of autumn, with just a few leaves hanging on for dear life to the branches. Very wild, but somehow there's still a structure to this photograph. I love the warmth down here, fading through to the coolness in the sky. You can kind of feel what time of day it is. You can feel the cold, and the strong sense that it is that end of autumn. And then a nice shot by Carol Ingleby of conkers, nice close-up shot with some great focus on the conkers here. Again, very simple, well exposed, well focused, and evocative, and matching the theme well. Then there's this shot by Katherine Hall. I really love this shot. The textures in it, the structure of the fungus as they grow up like this, and the detail in them and the shadowing and everything, it's fantastic. Really jumped out at me when I saw it. Having said that, there's a few things, couple of things letting it down slightly. It's overexposed here, here. So unfortunately, just a tad down on your exposure, Kath. I don't know if you're on manual or on AV, aperture priority mode, but just nail that exposure and this would have been a cracking shot. Also a little bit close to this edge here, give it a little bit of space to breathe, and the sharpness, it's sharp all through here and here, maybe just a little bit of a smaller aperture to bring this bit into focus as well, because I think this all deserved to be in focus against that tree. So in this instance, perhaps even an aperture of f8 or something, and then bring the bark and all of this into focus for this shot. I had a little go at editing it down for you and sharpening it a little bit as well, just to show you the difference, but you can't rescue these highlights once they're blown out. They're gone. Okay, but such a lovely concept, Kath. Really liked it. Excellent spot of that fungus growing upwards like that. Then Kath Hall again. I really like these flowers, the colours of them spilling over this wooden raised bed. It actually is very similar to our garden, and I wondered for a minute, we've got exactly the same setup going on, but not these beautiful flowers in it. So really lovely colours against the wood. Again, overexposed up here, so watch out on your exposure. You're probably better to slightly underexpose when you've got difficult areas like this, so that this would be correctly exposed, and then you could lift this area later when you process the images. And again, just a little bit more depth of field to bring these flowers in as well. Okay, I did wonder about whether this picture would look better cropped there, sort of along the top, but I do like the way the flowers are spilling out over the bed, and that you get a sense that it's, you know, they're on their last legs, kind of. Not quite, but you know what I mean. Then we've got a great run of squirrels. We'll start with Eric, who was the starter of all this squirrel mania in Love Your Lens. Lovely shot, really nicely framed, his great big eyes, and the fact that he's captured. And I think I would have processed this very slightly darker. It feels just a little bit too bright to me, a little bit darker and warmer. But a great capture, Eric, really nice. His eye is fantastic. Then this shot by Katherine Hall, absolute corker, really nice. I love the angle that she's caught. This diagonal angle is really adds movement to the image. It's a really nice compositional feature to use it on a diagonal like that. His eye contact and the focus straight down here on his nose, the front of his eyes is sharp, and his claws. Really nicely done. He's eyeballing you, that squirrel. And then another squirrel by Paula, and again, really nice capture. Not so close in this time, but it works because we get a sense of where he is. He's about to go somewhere. There's a nice story within this. You can tell what the weather is like, what season it is by this background area here. Possibly you could have cropped it here to take out some of this area here, but it is a lovely shot, a nice capture of a squirrel about to go. Okay, then we've got Simon Hepburn capturing some lovely autumn colours along the canal and the reflections in the water, so really evocative of an autumn walk. And then Carol Ingleby, this holly, the first signs of winter coming really at the end of autumn. Nicely done, nice soft focus background really to allow the holly to stand out against it. So you did well there, because it's quite hard sometimes in the midst of the mess of a bush to actually isolate something like this. So yeah, I really like that shot. Then David Riley, I mean, this is a cracker really. I really like it. At first you're captivated by the blue, the red of the leaves, and you know, again, end of autumn, and then you spot this cheeky little fella here, and he looks sharp despite the scale of him, and I think that was very well spotted, David. Really nice. And this picture just makes me go wow. And it was almost the favourite for me this week. The detailing on this stag is fantastic. He's obviously just been caught in a shower, which has made every sort of line and detail in his fur come out. He's at rest, he's perfectly sharp, and you know, beautifully caught against an autumn background. Really strong shot, Paula. Very, very good. And then this one, I picked this one out really because it's unusual. I mean, it's a nice capture anyway, but who'd have thought ducklings in the autumn sat on autumn leaves? Mum and a tiny little duckling sat there. So a great spot, Jill. Really enjoyed seeing that one. And then we go finally on to my favourite shot, and it's Karen Herrmann, right? And what makes this shot is the light. I mean, there's a number of different things, but primarily it's the light, and that's the thing that will always improve your game, up your game, is by looking for shots where the light is special. So Karen's done that, but then she's thought about how she's going to capture that light, and she's gone low down to capture the dew and the angle, the highlights on the dew here, and then just a few autumn leaves here. She's made sure that the sun is only just peeking out from behind the tree, so that we've got that starburst there, and we've got the rays coming down here. So spectacular shot, absolutely evocative of And So Ends Autumn. We get the dews, we get the leaves changing, and we get this beautiful low light. So that's absolutely brilliant, Karen. Beautiful shot. And thank you again to everybody who submitted. For everyone who's watching this video, I hope you've gained something and learnt something from it, and I hope you've enjoyed my hopefully constructive criticism, and I look forward to seeing your images for December, where we're running the theme of sparkle for the whole month. So any newcomers to the group, you simply post any pictures that are evocative of sparkle to you with the hashtag sparkle, and we'll go through the same process early January, where I'll pick out my favourite. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I look forward to speaking to you soon, and if I don't speak to you before, have a lovely Christmas. Bye bye.